Data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month. And get a free Roku 4Ls with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
As a nonprofit store, Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton relies on your donations. So this month, if you bring us a donation, we'll give you a card worth 10% off your total purchase. This is Connie reminding you to check us out on Facebook or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. I'm ready for a jump start.
Man, I forgot my jumper cables.
No, I'm ready to help clients jump on a new home.
But what if they fall off?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Get a jump on the new year by clicking the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here, Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus, streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by Love It Once More Thrift Store. Keith Wade, your country financial representative, and our exclusive sponsor for our Player of the Game, Serve Pro of Hyatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms, on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock is news time on this Tuesday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Visitors to the Warner Library in Clinton later this week will need to make plans for the children's floor to be closed down. The library has had the plans to rearrange the children's level. Librarian Corey Campbell says the plans for that begin on Friday.
We've had this specific plan in motion since the fall. So we've really been working on it and making sure that we can get it done as best we can. But like you said, things are changing up on the children's floor. So we're going to see a little bit of a closure starting the end of next week to give us a little bit of time to move everything. So at 1 p.m. next week, Friday the 13th, we are going to close the children's floor to the public. There will still be access to all of the books and things. You just will have to ask somebody to get them for you. And we are also going to have a selection of popular titles that are available downstairs. That way, if people still want to browse, that they are more than welcome to do so. And then we'll be opening the children's floor back up again on the morning of the 17th. That's a Tuesday after we're closed on the 16th for Martin Luther King Day.
As more and more children and their families utilize the library, space is becoming an issue on the upper level. According to Campbell, they simply need to move things around to allow for more space.
So something that we've noticed as things have gotten busier has really been that the play area where we've got our toys and where families tend to congregate after story times has gotten a little congested as our group has grown a little bigger over time, which is a great problem to have. But we don't necessarily want kids to be running around right in front of the elevator or in an area where people are trying to walk to get to different parts of the floor. And that's kind of where things have ended up. It's just been a natural way for them to get in there. And so it's not something that we necessarily had planned to have in the area it is, but has kind of become the natural gathering place. So I think the really big thought is let's shift things around so that these families have a little bit more of a secure area that's out of the walkway, that's going to give them a lot more space to play and to socialize is more intentionally created for them.
For those that frequent the children's floor, Campbell explains there is going to be a lot of rearranging of the books in other areas. Again, the rearranging is expected to begin Friday and be done by early next week. He appreciates the support of a lot of helping hands in making this project happen. In 2021, DeWitt County officials grew concerned about potential legislation at the state level that would supersede local control regarding wind and solar energy. With a lame duck session wrapping up in Springfield, that legislation was brought back up by Illinois lawmakers. State Senator Chapin Rose says a lot of the regulations coming would override the desire of local residents.
This bill would mandate 2.1 times the setback from your home, 2.1 times the blade height. On a 300-foot long blade, that's a little over a tenth of a mile, about a city block. So imagine you're a professor at the University of Illinois who's bought your dream home out in the country in Urbana, and then one of these goes up in your backyard, professor. Let's imagine your Piatt County that I currently represent, that Senator Turner's about to represent. It's a very compact geographic county. Between Monticello and a few other communities, there's not a whole lot of space left to put this. But there will be a lot of space left if you go with a 2.1 times setback. And by the way, on the topic of Piatt County Board has had 14 public hearings to listen to the citizens of Piatt County, to listen to their wishes. 14. This bill is going to come in and say, forget you guys, we don't care you had 14 hearings to listen to what people really think about this. We're just going to take away your right to do anything about it, and 2.1 times the length, a city block in your backyard.
A fired up Senator Rose on the Senate floor over the weekend pointed to storms, not just in recent years, but just this last week that were lost on the National Weather Service Lincoln radar.
Here's something that's real, that has actually happened. By the way, science, National Weather Service. This is from the National Weather Service, the Lincoln radar station. By the way, for those of you in Chicago who don't know where Lincoln is, they do the radar for Chicago too. They're the regional radar for the Midwest. 2018, the Taylorville tornado. When Senator Menard was here, we all passed a bill for Senator Menard because Taylorville got hit by a tornado. 2018, National Weather Service. That tornado produced an EF3 tornado at Taylorville. It also produced several EF0 to EF2 tornadoes. For 15 minutes, the National Weather Service lost track of the frickin' tornado. As it left Macon County on a trajectory, it disappeared. It disappeared in a wind farm. The radar couldn't find it for 15 minutes. Does that mean Monticello gets hit? Does that mean Argenta Orienta gets hit? Or does that mean Clinton gets hit?
Senator Rose chided lawmakers for polluting the Muhammad Aquifer with their natural gas pipeline breaks and not doing anything about it for the people of his district. The new General Assembly will be sworn in tomorrow. At the start of the new year, temperatures were very mild, and another mild stretch arrives this week on the WHOW Morning Show Monday. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio the mild weather is going to roll through and top out at around 50 degrees on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to see temperatures warm up a little bit, mid-40s today, which normal highs today right now are in the mid-30s. So we're going to be above normal all week until maybe Friday for highs anyway, mid-40s. And then 50 for Wednesday, which will be nice and comfortable. But that's going to be preceding a little bit of a storm system coming through. We're seeing mostly a rain signal, but the tail end of it could see some snow hit the ground on Thursday afternoon into the evening as we shut that system down. But for the most part, it's probably going to be a rain event, Wednesday night, Thursday time frame. Most of that precipitation falling on Thursday. And we cool off. That's a cold front coming through, so mid-30s for highs on Friday, which is normal for this time of year, but not expecting major impacts out of this week's weather at all. But Thursday night, we do get below freezing for lows, so anytime we have a rainy event followed by a cold front, even though there's some treatment on the roads, you're going to get some slick spots, especially those bridges or maybe some overpasses, where there's not a ground surface below it. So, you got to be careful out there Thursday night if you're going to be traveling around.
Heading through the rest of January, the signal for above normal temperatures has weakened a bit from recent outlooks, but it remains in place nonetheless. Shipman says anticipate a wetter than normal pattern in that time as well. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Coming up in sports, a merger between two conferences for football has been announced. That story in sports is next.
Well, the flu season is here again, and our Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine clinic is ready to treat you. CEO Paul Scowen here, reminding you when you suffer from all those symptoms that are caused by flu-like fever, headache, congestion, and that blah feeling. Come to us. No appointment, no problem at the Warner Hospital walk-in clinic. Get here and get feeling better. Just another way we provide quality care close to home.
Do you know what to do when a car is pulled over on the side of the road? First, reduce your speed. Second, change lanes if possible. Third, proceed with caution. These 3 simple steps can be the difference between life and death. The next time you're on the road, do the right thing. Slow down, move over, and drive like your life and their life depends on it. Sponsored by the Illinois Broadcasters Association. Aired in cooperation with this station. Thanks to the AAA Auto Club for their financial support in the airing of this message.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon postgame broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. Remember ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction. Find out their services by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi there, I'm here to tell you a little about this new program called Safe to Help Illinois. Maybe you know somebody who's being bullied, or worse, thinking about hurting themselves or others. If you don't feel safe telling an adult about the things that are happening around you, check out Safe to Help.
Safe to Help is not about snitching or getting someone in trouble. It's about helping one another out.
You can call, you can text.
You can download the free mobile app, and it's all over social media.
So what do you say? Let's give it a try.
Brought to you by IEMA.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. The Heart of Illinois Conference and the Central Illinois Conference have made a football merger official Monday. The agreement begins for the 2024 high school football season and will be called the Heart of Illinois Conference. It is the Heart of Central Illinois Conference, that is. In a release Monday, the conferences say this will create stability for 11-man football and keep scheduling consistent for its member schools. Divisions and schedules will be worked out at a later date leading into the 2024 season. There will be a large and small school division with a cutoff of approximately 290 to 300 student enrollment with 8 schools in each division. The Central Illinois Conference will bring Clinton, Meridian, Central A&M, Shelbyville, Tuscola, and Warrensburg-Latham to the new conference, while the Heart of Illinois brings DMAC, El Paso Gridley, Eureka, Fieldcrest, Fisher, GCMS, Hayworth, Leroy, Lexington Ridgeview, Tremont, and Tri-Valley. The Heart of Illinois Conference, also the Heart of Central Illinois Conference, also features Flanagan Cornell. However, they play 8-man football, and Ridgeview Lexington plays as a co-op. Jason Tatum scored 32 points. Jaylen Brown had 19, and the Boston Celtics beat the Chicago Bulls 107-99 Monday night to reach the midway point of the NBA season with the best record. Grant Williams poured in 20 points. Al Horford had 7 boards and 8 points, including a clutch three-pointer with 24 seconds to play that helped seal the win for the defending Eastern Conference champions, who are 29-12 after the first 41 games. Chicago lost forward DeMar DeRozan to an injury in the third quarter, yet managed to trim Boston's 16-point lead with 2 points to 2 points with 2 minutes to play. Malcolm Brogdon scored 20 for Boston, who played without injured point guard Marcus Smart. Zach LaVine led Chicago with 27, scoring 15 in the fourth quarter and leading the Bulls' furious comeback bid. Chicago, which won 3 straight, lost to Rosen in the third quarter with a strained right quadricep. Nikola Vucevic had 21 points and 13 rebounds for Chicago. DeRozan would finish with 13 points in 23 minutes. A three-pointer by Levine pulled Chicago within 99-97 late in the fourth, but the comeback stalled when he missed a jumper in the final minute. The Celtics got the rebound to Tatum, who dribbled about 20 seconds off the clock before getting the ball to Horford for a three-pointer. Horford's shot bounced off the rim, then found its way through for a 104-99 lead with 24 seconds to play. Levine missed again for the Bulls. Tatum broke free for a two-handed dunk, drawing a foul, converting the free throw to seal the win. With 12 seconds to play, down 11 entering the fourth quarter, a layup by Levine pulled Chicago within 89-84, but the Celtics answered with a surge with Brown's back-to-back jumpers and a three-point play by Williams. The Celtics led 59-50 at the half, matching their largest lead of the game after the Bulls committed 3 of their 6 turnovers in the final few minutes, and the Celtics capitalized with a 9-2 run to close the period. The Bulls visit Washington on Wednesday. Aaron Rodgers wants to think things over for a while before the 4-time MVP decides whether he wants to return to the Green Bay Packers for a 19th season. The 39-year-old also noted the choice isn't solely his to make. The Packers have to want him back. Rodgers' future is the biggest issue facing the 8-9 Packers as they move forward after a 20-16 loss to the Detroit Lions that kept them out of the playoffs, ending a string of 3 straight postseason berths. Coach Matt LaFleur said Sunday night after the game that he absolutely wants Rodgers back. Rodgers did not approach the MVP form of his 2020 and 2021 seasons. His 12 picks, only 13 combined from 19 to 2021, were one off of a career high he set as a first-year starter in 2008. His passer rating was also the lowest of his career. Rodgers played much of the season with a broken right thumb and injured ribs during a November 27th loss at Philadelphia. If Rodgers is not back, the Packers likely would turn to 2020 first-round pick Jordan Love, who has just 1 career start but performed well in relief of the injured Rodgers in the Eagles game. Green Bay's rookie class had a notable season in plenty of respects. The Packers used their top pick on Georgia linebacker Quay Walker, who showed plenty of promise but got ejected for the second time this season Sunday when he shoved Lions team physician Sean Lynch, who was attending to an injured player. Walker apologized for the incident Monday. Defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt, the Packers' other first-round pick, appeared to bump Lynch as well, but was not penalized. Second-round pick Christian Watson finished his rookie season with 7 touchdown catches and 2 touchdown runs. Offensive lineman and 4th-round pick Zach Tom showcased his versatility Sunday, stepping in for right tackle Yash Neiman, who struggled while playing through a shoulder injury. The Packers won 3 of their first 4 games, then lost 5 straight, and eventually fell to 4-8. They regained control of their postseason fate by winning 4 consecutive games, only to come up short in the season finale. Rodgers is not the only veteran facing an uncertain future. Green Bay's list of pending free agents includes safety Adrian Amos, receivers Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard, kicker Mason Crosby, tight ends Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis, defensive lineman Dean Lowry and Jaron Reed, and quarterback and kick returner Keyshawn Nixon, among others. As much as he would have liked to set the NFL single-season rushing record for a quarterback, Justin Fields seemed only mildly disappointed. He did not get the opportunity. A strained hip kept him out of Chicago's season-ending loss to Minnesota. That ended his pursuit of Lamar Jackson's quarterback rushing mark. GM Ryan Poles is now on the clock as the 3-14 Bears wrapped up one of the worst seasons in franchise history, setting a franchise record for losses in the season, and extended one by dropping their 10th game in a row on Sunday. They also got a big assist from former coach Lovie Smith and landed the number 1 pick in the draft for the first time since 1947 when Smith led Houston to a last-minute win at Indianapolis. That put Chicago in the top spot and dropped the Texans to the number 2 pick. Smith was then fired hours after the game. The Bears also figured to have about $118 million in cap space, and they'll need every penny to address their needs. Those include adding playmaking receivers and beefing up the offensive line to give Fields the protection he needs and a balanced offense. The Bears led the league in rushing while finishing last in passing, and Fields was sacked 55 times, tied with Denver's Russell Wilson for most in the NFL. A glaring as the Bears' offseason needs are, they also have big issues to address on the defensive line. But one big positive this season was Fields' progress. Though he still needs to develop as a passer, the former Ohio State star emerged as one of the NFL's most exciting players in just his second season. He threw for 2,242 yards and 17 touchdowns, running for 1,143 yards and 8 more scores. He finished 63 yards of Jackson's quarterback rushing record of 1,206 yards in his 2019 MVP season. Quarterbacks Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis are among the top 5 quarterback prospects in the draft, but it would be surprising if the Bears selected a quarterback to compete with Fields, a first-round pick in 2021. The Bears could trade down a few spots in the draft to a QB-needy team and still get a blue-chip player such as Alabama linebacker Will Anderson Jr. or Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter with their initial pick. The Bears have a league-worst 20 sacks, the fewest for Chicago since the 2003 team had 18. The Eagles, by contrast, led the NFL with 70 sacks this year. A safety, Jaquan Brisker, led the Bears with 4 sacks, and no lineman had more than 3. The Bears are looking also for a president and CEO to replace the retiring Ted Phillips. Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren has spoken to the team about the vacancy and is a candidate for the job. The Bears also hope to complete the purchase of a 326-acre property in suburban Arlington Heights that could become the site of a new enclosed stadium. Restaurants and retail are also envisioned for that plot of land. Polls tore down the roster after he was hired a year ago, trading Khalil Mack and parting ways with Akeem Hicks and Allen Robinson in the offseason. He traded Robert Quinn, and after a contract negotiation standoff, Roquan Smith prior to the trade deadline, gutting the Bears' defense. Now it's time to start rebuilding. Get the latest in sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Ace now offers free assembly and free delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block. What you need in stock. With people who know their grills.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, the helpful place at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
See participating store for details.
At Covenant Animal Clinic, your hometown vet in Clinton, we're thanking all of our customers for another great year. Hi, this is Dr. Sue Stur. We want to thank our great customers this past year for trusting Covenant Animal Clinic to care for your pets. Click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to learn how we can serve you in the coming year.
By leveraging sustainable carbon management solutions like Navigator CO2's Heartland Greenway, ethanol facilities can make substantial progress toward carbon reduction objectives. Learn more on how they're partnering with ethanol producers across the Corn Belt. Click their icon at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. A vigil has been held for a Virginia elementary school teacher who was shot, allegedly by one of her students, who was 6 years old. The teacher in the hospital said to be in stable condition. President Biden, who slammed former President Trump over the handling of sensitive government documents, apparently has some issues of his own in that regard. The Justice Department reviewing a batch of documents marked classified and found in the Washington office space of President Biden's former institute. On Capitol Hill, Republicans have adopted a rules package to govern operation of the House, which is now under GOP leadership. Forecasters warn that California can expect more rough weather today in the form of very heavy rains and fierce winds. The opening bell just sounding on Wall Street, the Dow down 25 points.